From the post-millennial, breaking Oregon man indicted on terrorism charges over plot to behead ICE agents in Portland. That's a happy headline. A grand jury has indicted an Oregon man on new terrorism charges stemming from an intricate plot to kill ICE agents in Portland. Radon Tanner Coleman. Good Lord, that guy doesn't have a father. 18 of St. Helens faces new charges of first-degree attempted domestic terrorism and second-degree domestic terrorism. The charges handed down by a Columbia County grand jury on Thursday are in addition to the 13 original charges that included 6 counts of unlawful manufacturing of a destructive device, 6 counts of unlawful possession of a destructive device, and attempted second-degree assault. Prosecutors said that Coleman did unlawfully and with intent attempt to cause widespread serious physical injury or death and attempt to destroy or substantially damage critical infrastructure. Coleman, who was arrested on February 4th, will be arraigned on Friday afternoon, and Deputy District Attorney Joshua Pond filed a notice seeking a harsher sentence per court records. According to a probate cause affidavit, Coleman allegedly devised an intricate plan to follow ICE agents home as they left the facility on Macadam Avenue and kill them, including by beheading and taking their severed heads as trophies. His plan detailed utilizing night vision goggles to stalk their whereabouts and wearing camouflage clothing to blend in. Where does this guy get the money for night vision goggles?
This guy sounds awesome, dude.
I mean,
It's like a
he's committed to the bit, right?
Is he a Muslim revert with the beheading stuff? I wonder where he drew inspiration.
He doesn't look like it.
I know, no, the revert.
You revert to
so-called.
Islam.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
don't convert, you revert. Everyone's natural basis.
Everyone's
is
born
real
Muslim. Like everyone's
yes.
in the womb is a woman. Just like,
yeah,
you know.
Investigators
Ball, Ball, nice, yeah.
Investigators found Coleman in possession of surveillance equipment, tactical axes, military knives, shovels, and homemade explosive devices, including Molotov cocktails, which were located in his vehicle during his arrest. Coleman also had been making payments toward the purchase of an AR-15, according to court documents. He went with the night vision.
He had
before
an
the rifle.
AR on layaway, dude. What?
This guy's strapped.
I mean, look,
18.
You can get an AR for pretty cheap. The night,
That's
he went with the
awesome.
night vision first. Those things are
Yeah, but he's
expensive.
18.
The night vision was cheap.
Night vision.
Where's he getting this money?
cheap
Where's this
version,
18-year-old?
This literally sounds like my closet. This is great stuff.
I
mean,
don't want to. I'm not
obviously.
going to talk about
Oh, well, okay, all right.
You don't want to know what's
All
in my
right.
closet.
the things that I own that are similar to the.
Oh
things
yeah,
that this
my
guy owns.
closet. I have a bunch of firearms and
Yeah, but my
I
closet.
still haven't come out of it. That's how.
yeah, pepper spray.
Listen, the reason that I know night vision, there's a reason that I know night vision is very expensive.
Yeah,
right?
dude.
So
Especially that top level stuff, man.
It's-
like 13.
Yeah, so how did this
$1,000.
18-year-old
It looks so cool,
get this
too. I wanna
expensive
wear
night vision?
goggles.
That's a good question.
Sort of
You
begs
see
the question.
stars.
But
No
I mean,
homo. I want to wear your goggles.
So to Elaad's point earlier, you know, these leftists really are getting far more brazen in their attacks. I mean, there's obviously all the attacks in Texas on the ICE facilities. There was a couple. I think there was 3 illegal immigrants that were killed when the shooter was shooting into the ICE facility, and he was trying to kill ICE agents, but he ended up, killing illegal immigrants. Do you think that this kind of stuff, or do you guys think that this kind of stuff is going to be more prevalent in the coming years? Or do you think that this is going to reach an apex soon and kind of peter out?
I don't know if I specifically have a blind spot to this, only noticing this happening for leftist causes, and I'm maybe missing all the right-wing causes this violence is done for. But no, I see this as like normalized on the left and encouraged by the left. Shout out to, going back to even Charlie Kirk not too long ago being murdered. Obviously, there were 2 Israeli consulate staffers who were murdered in Washington, D.C. not too long ago. And these, the fire bombings of potential ICE facilities or attacks on ICE agents or doxing of ICE agents, it just doesn't seem uncommon. It seems to be normalized and almost appreciated by people on the far left. They believe the ends justify the means, and they think these people are genuinely evil, and they are superheroes fighting against them. They think they're like, I don't know, Batman or Superman punching like Adolf Hitler in the face comic style. And when you have people who are so self-absorbed and so self-important, I think you're only going to see more of this stuff. So this really begs the question, which TikTok did this kid see before being encouraged to go try to, kill ICE officers?
It might have been actually a Reddit post.
Fuck.
I don't know. Have you
Reddit
guys
is
seen?
sewer.
Have you seen these Reddit posts and these memes from trans people? They're like trans meme. Trans meme humor is just literally shooting people. Like that's all shooting and stabbing people. And we don't condone that here. We disavow all that kind of stuff, right? But
For people who bitch and moan about dehumanization all the time, they sure love to dehumanize people who don't think that they are the opposite gender.
100%. And like you see, and it's not fringe and niche anymore. It's like it is mainstream on the left where these memes, these trans memes where they depict themselves shooting or killing people, like they get hundreds of thousands of likes.
It's mainstream.
Hundreds of thousands of likes.
It's mainstream to justify the murder of Charlie Kirk on the left. Not liberals. I want to make a distinction between the left and liberals, but leftists justify the murder of Charlie Kirk without question. They feel unbothered by it. Why? Because he was a fascist who they believe was causing harm against them. They believe his speech was causing harm against them.
It's so scary because there's millions of people who feel this way. Like millions of people who feel this way, that if you are a right-wing person, anyone to the right of Hillary Clinton, that you deserve to die because you are dehumanizing me and you are taking away my rights, and it's absolutely bonkers.
You know, we were making jokes about the a TikTok of the lieutenant governor from Minnesota today because she was talking about her native name. I forget what it was. Yeah, I can't pronounce it off the top of my head. But the point that I'm making is, she's been seen wearing a shirt that says "Protect Trans Kids" and stacked on top, and there's a knife in between protect and trans. And it's like, this kind of stuff is not just discussed on Reddit. This kind of stuff is actually valorized by politicians. And maybe they're not in DC, right? Maybe the people in DC are smart enough to not actually call for violence, but there are plenty of Democrat politicians that do.
You have someone close to DC, Jay Jones, who had messages where he wished death upon Republicans and their children.
There was there's a guy in Texas running that said that he's literally running on a platform to kill Donald Trump. That was the way that he phrased it, and he was talking about, well, we're gonna find him guilty, we're gonna arrest him, we're gonna find him guilty, and we're gonna get capital punishment. Didn't bother to mention what crime he was gonna be charged with. Didn't bother to mention what crime he had committed that was worthy of capital punishment, but he was making it very clear that capital punishment was that was his goal, that he was get him elected, and he was going to make sure that Donald Trump was brought up on charges that would lead to a death penalty. And that kind of stuff is insane. And it's normal.
I think that's what makes Democrats, like, I don't like Republicans either, but I think this is what makes Democrats really pernicious, is that they know what they're saying is absolute bullcrap, but they live off the delusions of useful idiots who eat it up, where these useful idiots on college campuses, on Reddit, they genuinely believe that Donald Trump is worse than Adolf Hitler. And so they believe that, yes, we need to go out and kill all the supporters of so-called worse than Hitler. And then this is why left-wing violence has become so normalized in our society, where it seems like there is a left-wing attack in the West every other week. Like, we just had a trans shooter in Canada target multiple children, murder multiple children, and somehow the left is completely silent about that. But if you look at his posts, Matt Walsh was calling out that that shooter's post years ago about, hey, these people are getting really radicalized on the internet, and then nothing's being done because they are a protected class and we can't dehumanize them, and they are somehow protected under civil rights legislation.
And to your point about the protected class stuff, like, the Canadian media wouldn't even come out and say that it was a trans woman. They were saying it was a gun person. The
gun person.
Yeah, the dance that they do only helps the trans people that are the shooter. Like, if you refuse to use the actual biological sex of a person because you're going to offend the trans community, when it was a trans woman, it was a guy that shot these 10 people or something like that, killed his parents, then went to a school and decided to shoot a bunch of kids. If the government and the media still won't come out and say, look, okay, this was a mentally ill person, this was a person that had a disorder and was on drugs, and they totally ignore that stuff, and they say, oh, it was a person, a trans person, a woman in a dress is another thing that I heard someone saying, a woman in a dress, about a guy in a dress that was shooting people. The fact that the media still plays into it only helps these people, only protects these people that are carrying out these heinous crimes.
Did you guys see that Canadian police chief, when discussing the trans shooter, they said, we will respect the preferred pronouns of this individual while
Unbelievable.
she was alive. And I was like, why? Someone who goes around killing children deserves no respect.
There was a
No
video
respect.
of someone saying the first victim in this situation is the trans
Yeah,
shooter
it's
because of how
ridiculous.
much they
It's
were
like-
bullied. Dude, people are so heavily, extremely propagandized now. I mean, Elaad's right. They believe they are fighting evil.
Yeah.
That's genuinely like the mentality that they have.
Unironically. Like,
yeah.
it's hard to emphasize how much they think that right-wingers are legitimately evil
Yeah.
and that they are saving the planet.
I think that's like what I take as a global conspiracy to actually do this to the United States to get it to destroy itself from within. So to answer your question, Phil, is this going to keep happening? I think the plan, it looks like, is radicalize the people of the United States by destroying their economy and flooding their country with fentanyl, weird petrochemicals, drugs, feed them crap. They'll eat it in the U.S. They'll ban it in Europe, but they'll eat it in the U.S., make them androgynous, and then have make it normalize it. And then when they fight, then the people are going to be like, the response to like radical, call me my pronoun is, I would rather see you worst of the worst. Are you kidding me? You're going to push me to say something that I know isn't true? Like, you can't compel my speech and behavior. So then what that'll happen is it will radicalize both sides more. And then I think you will see more of this up until people start begging for a technocracy to come in and use spy tech, global spy tech, to make sure no one can do this kind of thing, because we're all being tracked at every moment, like what Larry Ellison wants to do, make us all tracked at every moment so that we can't commit crimes. And people will be begging, even people on the right, begging for this technology to protect them from these crazy trans shooters. And it's like, it's an op. It's an op.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be free and have gun rights and protect our individuals, you know?
We have this video from Sky News about this particular shooting.
Police say the attacker was dead. When they found her, she had a self-inflicted wound, and she matched the description given in an earlier police alert. Female, wearing a dress with brown hair. That is extremely unusual. It's rare to have a female attacker. Police say the attacker...
Insane.
I shouldn't laugh. That's
I mean, the fact that, he says female attacker, right? Like, it is actually not rare at all.
Female
because
attacker with a dress.
It is
With
not
a
rare
massive hog.
Yeah, it's not rare for trans people to go and shoot up schools or whatever anymore. Nowadays, it's actually very common to have trans people that are attacking, society in one way or another. So the fact that was Sky News, the fact that the anchor for Sky News was not just, not just talking about what had happened, but actually even trying to tell people that that this is a rare thing, that because women don't do this. And it's like, look, it wasn't a woman, it was a guy.
I mean, a girl in a dress with brown hair might as well be Ian any other day of the week. I do think there's a serious
Amen,
overlap with mental illness and them being trans. So we are seeing this increase in trans shooters. And I think a big part of that is because they are dealing with serious mental illness. And again, in an unironic, in a serious way.
Absolutely. I would love to stop focusing on the transgender aspect or transsexual aspect of the human. Focus more on if someone is warped, if someone is broken mentally, if they've been... That's the problem.
Well, the
it
mentally ill are being
exacerbates as-
taken advantage of. The autistic people are being taken advantage of. People who are confused about their identity are being taken advantage of. Puberty is a difficult time, particularly for women, and they are being taken advantage of.
People that are compassionate are being taken advantage of. It's the vector of attack of this machine is compassion. They're getting people to use their own feelings of empathy. Like, oh, there's this homeless, dying, sick person on the ground. You wouldn't just leave them there, would you?
But
then here, bring them all into your house.
But even rolling this back to the, like, how do people get encouraged to transition? It's, again, people who feel legitimately uncomfortable with their bodies, which can be okay, but that doesn't mean you need to butcher your own body. So again, it really is taking advantage of retards, young women, and the mentally ill, because those people are the most susceptible ones to think they have issues with their body and are the most likely to be and most capable of being taken advantage
Libby
of.
and I were talking about this when we were in Florida on one of the shows. The incidences of anorexia and bulimia have dropped, whereas the incidences of trans men has increased. A lot of it is body dysmorphia. The trans situation that we've got going on, it's actually a manifestation of a bunch of different things in females and women, it tends to be, body dysmorphia. Whereas when it comes to trans women, men, it tends to be things like autogynephilia and mental disorder or other mental disorders. But it's manifests as trans.
So if you're a man and you're having body dysmorphia, you're gay. Is what I
mean, there's
or
a
you're
lot
just
of,
a bitch male.
There's a lot. Of, there's a lot of gay people that are like, "Oh, you're erasing gay people because you're telling young gay people that actually they're trans," and so there's a big portion of the LGBTQ or LGBT lobby, the LGB lobby,
LGBTQ.
That says, "Oh, this trans stuff is actually erasing gay people." It's an attack.
Well, that's why you've seen like a large part of the gay population disassociate from the trans movement. The other thing that I think is really interesting is seeing some of the detransition now. Where like it was almost like a fad at school and everyone was doing it. So now and you see these people that are detransitioning and telling their story about that, and the way they get attacked by the trans community is mind blowing.
Because
it's I'm talking serious threats.
Because what's worse than an enemy is a traitor. And so if they view you as a traitor, they view you with so much more contempt than they do the enemy, right? So they'll view us as the enemy, the far-right fascists who want to take away their rights and everything and genocide them. But then they see detransitioners and they're like, oh, you are with us, but now you betrayed us.
You're not just an infidel,
so
you're
that's
an apostate.
why.
Getting people. There you go, back to the Muslim.
Seriously, you're an apostate. It's
different.
You look like a revert with that beanie on.
Hey, what can I say?
Hey, dude, I'm gay and I'm Muslim, dude. What do you want?
Talking about
getting people to turn on huge segments of society is like genetically we're predisposed to genetically being like pointed at the enemy and go probably because our ancestors, those were the people that survived. They weren't the good guys, but they were the people that would mobilize the masses and get them to kill a bunch of people. And they're like, see, now we're in charge. And it's like it's so easy to manipulate people into hating and killing. It's got to be we evolved to a point where we stop that way of being. It's got to happen. Like if there's going to be a great war superseded by AI that like takes care of people that are psychotic, I don't know, man. I don't like it.
That's how we turn men into men again, dude.
War.
We go to war.
Make a trip to Taiwan. I don't know if Kingman wants to come. I know they have some ethnic beef, but
no, I like
maybe
the
rest of us?
Taiwanese.
Okay.
I do like the Taiwanese.
you're talking about detransitioners. There was just a detransitioner that was awarded $2 million because her mother felt pressured by the psychologist and by the doctor. The child was 15 when she started dressing like a boy and began social transition, and then 11 months later is when she got surgery. 11 months, she got it at 16 years old.
It's particularly pernicious for young women because when young women start puberty, it's a very traumatic time for them. They're used to being viewed in one way without breasts, and now they're beginning to be sexualized, and they just want to stay the way it was. And, they don't want to be viewed differently by their peers. And that doesn't mean they're not a woman anymore, but the way that it manifests in the way people try to abuse them is by encouraging them to be men and telling them that they're men and tricking them and saying a double mastectomy. It'll go back to how things were beforehand, but it's not the truth. And misleading young women, I think, is particularly traumatic. And Davey, I think you were spot on. Part of why they get so much hate too is because they delegitimize the cause so effectively. So I actually know some detransistors, dude.
Hell yeah.
And they all say the same thing. When they were younger, they were going through puberty and felt like they were being taken advantage of. I also know women with large breasts who, when they were younger, tell me like, hey, this really changed the way how I was being viewed by others, and it made me feel very uncomfortable in my own body. And I thought that I wasn't a man. I was a man because of that, or at least not a woman. But again, it's just, the troubles of going through puberty, which again could be a very tumultuous time for people. And it's really sad because these are our most vulnerable people in our society being taken advantage of. Thankfully, though, I think we are heading a little bit in the opposite direction.
Oh, yeah. Chloe Cole stepped out into the oncoming traffic and like blasted the world with the truth like 4 years ago.
Amazing, yeah.
She's so awesome. And now she's 22, had her breasts cut off when she was 15 or something crazy, fast-tracked through.
And, to that point about, that happening as teenagers, if you talk to normies, like people that are not particularly politically aware, they'll tell you, no, that doesn't happen to kids. They don't do it to kids. It's only
no idea, dude.
They have no idea.
There's so much ignorance about that.
Oh, they're so confident.
They'll attack you in the comments on social media. This doesn't happen. This isn't a real thing. And then you show them a couple examples. Well, that's just like, blah, blah. No, dude, it's very common.
Yep. Yeah.
And they have no idea the kind of books that is being shown to kindergartners and preschoolers. It's absolutely insane. I really do think it's really sad because whether it's anorexia and bulimia or it's the modern social contagion of transgenderism, when it in regards to women, it's like all these young women all just want to be loved, right? They just all want to be loved, and all of these social contagions are just attacks on their very rudimentary and just very basic desire to be loved. And this is why it's like very important as men too, where, I do rag on women a lot on social media, but I really do. It's because I care.
Because you don't have a hot girlfriend, dude.
You're a
Yeah,
Korean
that's
man,
true.
That's why. Right?
Yeah. No, but I do care about the general well-being of women because I believe that men and women should complement one another.
Yeah.
And as men, yes, we need to call out the faults and the sins of women in modern society, but we also need to step up as men
Yes.
and show women that, hey, like there are good men who exist.
Yes, 100%.
Where we can be fun, we can be crass, we can crack jokes and all these things, but we also mean business and we will protect you when push comes to shove, and to give them that security. And just to let them know, like, hey, it's okay to be a woman.
Yeah.
I think that's really, really needed because healthy masculine energy complements and brings out healthy feminine energy, and then the vice versa. Healthy feminine energy brings out healthy masculine energy.
Are you guys familiar with that? There was a trend or whatever that was going on Instagram and TikTok where like a girl would be like, "Oh, what's going through my head?" And we're walking down the street and she's like, "Da da da da," like not paying attention to anything. And then she goes and it switches to her boyfriend. That's like, "Okay, that guy looks weird. We're gonna move over here. Okay, if someone comes out this door," and it's like that really kind of encapsulates what a relationship should be like. You allow, by being a man that will take care of your woman and protect your girlfriend or your wife or whatever, and protect your family and take the responsibility that comes along with that. You allow the woman to go ahead and say, you know what, I trust this guy. I believe that he'll protect me, so I can worry about things that, that I can, women don't want to worry about. Women don't want to worry about being attacked and stuff like that. You hear women, and particularly feminists and stuff, they say, we shouldn't have to worry about this and we shouldn't have to worry about that. I shouldn't have to. And you know what? To be honest with you, you shouldn't. You're right. And it's terrible that there are people out there that will take advantage of you and hurt you. But we live in the real world, and that kind of danger has been a reality for all of human history.
And it always will be.
Yeah, and it always will be. And so that's why if you're a man, you're responsible for taking care of your girlfriend. That's why if you're a man, it is expected that like if some dude comes up, you're going to be the one that gets in the way and gets punched in the face, and that's what happens.
Wait, I mean,
Rolls jujitsu.
I'm going to do the punching. I'm going to do the punching.
Kangmin, I think you solved the issue to the female trans issue. It's really just male love. That's all they need.
Yeah, that's why I said in the beginning, right? Like women untethered from healthy masculine authority become crazy, and so they just need good male figures in their life.
Yep.
And that's really all it is. It's
what do the
really
dudes that
boys
become
become men.
women need then?
Fathers need to put the porn down.
Dudes that become women
Need to put the porn
what
down.
do they need?
Yeah, they need to put the
also
porn down.
masculine love. And there's nothing wrong with that.
A lot of type of love too. It's an interesting concept because the Greeks broke it into 8 different types of love. There's erotic love. That's not necessarily. There's like love of self. There's love of the community. There's familial love. There's friendship, love of friendship. There's flirtatious love, and like a child needs to see a man exact all of those with his wife in order to emulate and to know like it can be safe. Like it's okay to be a girl.
The best thing a man can do for his children is to love his wife in front of them, like not sexually, but like in front of them. Treat your child's mother well, and that's going to teach the child how to treat women and treat the opposite sex. Because the kid's like, that's mom, right? Like a little kid is like, that's mom. I love her. She's the best thing in the world, blah, blah, blah. If he sees dad disrespecting her or being aggressive with her or just being crappy, like he's going to think that's how you're supposed to treat him. So the best thing that a father can do for a child is to love that child's mother.
Well, it conditions...
love her openly and love her fully.
It conditions the boys to understand, okay, this is how I treat women. And it conditions the girls to believe this is what I deserve.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So it is very symbiotic.
Yep.
But also at the same time, I do have a lot of trans friends and trans female friends, not trans guy friends, obviously. No.
Wait, trans female, male or female friends?
They are now female.
Okay.
And some of them are hot, dude. I don't think we can overlook that.
Why do I feel like you didn't say no to the pegging?
Hey, hang on, dude.
Dude, are you trans?
Whoa. No, let's not get that rumor started. I'm gay and I'm trans and I'm Muslim.
Because both you and Ian are very pretty with the long hair, very silky. I don't know.
You could
Maybe
call, I'm a trans.
You're calling dudes pretty. I
Dude, don't
know,
make me
man.
throw it on the table right now, bro.
Kangmin, I was going to say Koreans look the most androgynous. So if anything, you might be the prettiest one at the table.
And it's actually funny. No,
If you wanted to go trans, I think you'd do the most convincing job of anybody at the table.
You
I don't
would-
know.
no,
Can
you
you
would be the
grow
hottest.
any facial
You
hair?
would be the hottest.
You cannot grow a mustache.
I
Kangmin.
can't.
lip injections
Your
on
hair
those guys?
I can.
You
Not
have
a
two
beard,
hairs
a
on your
mustache.
chest.
That's the craziest insult I've ever heard in my life.
No, it's funny because I did go
You have
viral.
such soft skin.
When-
Oh, yeah, I'd bang you, dude. Absolutely.
when I pissed off the Indians earlier last year, they made a viral meme of me where they took my profile picture and then they put some makeup on me and a wig, and they're like, "Look, Korean men and Korean women, what's the difference?" I went crazy viral, so viral, still going viral right now. Where some kids in my church are like, "Hey, is this you?" Like even kids are seeing it. The kids are
You're
seeing
just
it.
jealous, bro.
I know.
It's
but
a bad
funny.
sign when someone's bringing up a picture. Is this you?
I know.
You know?
It's so funny
I used
though.
to do theater in like my junior year. I played Laertes and Hamlet.
Oh, he's gayer.
I look at myself. You're gonna love this. Wait, it gets better. And then I look at myself in the mirror and be like, I would make a hot chick. But then that doesn't make me gay.
What?
Dude, you could be the next Blair White, dude.
We're gonna.
Well, I do want to say one last
Blair
thing.
was like,
go
I
ahead,
think I'm
please,
just
please.
a cross-dresser. Blair said that one time.
I think everything we just discussed, it really does remind me of why I hate feminism so much.
Yeah.
Because it really breaks the bonds that daughters have with their fathers
Yep.
and wives have with their husbands. Where, you go to any wedding ceremony, right? The father walks the bride down the aisle and then hands her off to the groom. And people are like, oh, it's symbolic. No, it's literal. It's literal because she goes from the protection of her father now to the protection of her husband.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
But feminists have convinced the woman that, no, you don't need no man. You do your thing, boss babe. You go queen. And it's like, no, even feminists say we shouldn't have to live in fear. Yes, you shouldn't. But the solution to bad men is not to put down men, it's good men.
Yeah.
And no matter how much women try to convince themselves that they are strong as men, as quick as men, in any situation, men will always overpower women. So the solution to women's safety and their flourishing is not to put down men and try to convince women that they can be like men and just make inferior versions of men out of women, but is to encourage and honor good men. Say, hey, we encourage you guys, we appreciate you guys, and we honor you guys in how you guys look out for us and protect us.
Yeah.
And that is the solution, I believe, really, to all the gender debate, where women need to uplift men and men need to be willing to protect and provide for women.
Thanks for checking out this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to watch the show live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Subscribe to this channel, and we will see you all there.